next I'm going to be cutting a 2.5-inch circle using my Spellbinder die. I'm going to keep the die over the paper so I can use it for stenciling, and then I'm going to grab a little bit of broken china distress ink and I'm going to sponge the edges. Then I'm just going to grab a little bit of my chipped sapphire, and I'm just going to sponge a little bit of that on the very edge here to darken a little bit. Okay, and then I can set that aside. Then I'm going to grab some letters, which I'm going to be using for writing out my sentiment, and the sentiment is Boo. I'm using an alphabet called Smoothie, and it's an older retired one by Sizzix, and you can just use any alphabet that you want, of course. And I'm just going to glue this together, so each letter over its shadow, and there are videos in the library that show you how to create a shadow for if you don't have shadows for your letters. And what you're going to do is you're going to do up each one on its shadow, or glue it down on cardstock and cut out the shadow portion. And then you're going to grab a sponge stopper and a little bit of china blue ink. I'm using a nice turquoisey color and white lettering. And I'm going to add some shading. And you're going to do this to each and every letter. Okay, so now I'm ready to start assembling my card. I have over here my card base, which is 4 inches by 6 inches long, or tall. I've matted some of this paper over here is by K & Company. It's a Halloween paper pack. And I've matted it on white cardstock, and the cardstock had been sponged with a little bit of broken china. This kind of turquoise cardstock had been sponged with a bit of chipped sapphire. Next I have this piece of paper over here, which is nice skull designs by Karen Foster, spooky collage paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my scissors, and I want it to have a decent kind of length. So I'm going to cut my skull paper at a bit of an angle over here. Then I'm going to glue it to this nice kind of eggplant colored paper. So it's right at the very top, it's butted up. And then I can trim the tail over here to have a bit of a border. And this way we'll be able to come all the way down. And it's a little bit long, so we're just going to trim this a little bit more. Okay. And then I'm going to sponge this one with a little bit of chipped sapphire. And then I can set this aside. And then I'm going to start assembling my card. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my first mat and I'm going to glue it onto my card base. And I'm just gluing because of course the ink tends to make tape not stick as well. And just making sure this is straight. Then I'm going to take my little flag piece. I'm going to secure some twine at the back and the center. And then, whoops, kind of stuck to my thumb there. And then I'm just going to wrap it around. And then the third time I'm just going to give it a partial length over here. And then just make sure it's not tight so it's not making it bow down a bit. And then I'm going to secure it a second time right here. And then I'm going to glue this down to my paper. And you can use glue or tape for this, since there's no ink in that other portion there. And then stick it down. Okay, so now it's glued down. You can see I have this piece over here sticking out. Then I'm going to take the circle and I'm going to set it down. And I'm not pushing down. I have it on dimensionals, just so you can see there, like that. I'm not sticking it down because I just kind of want to determine at the height at which I have it and decide where my lettering is going to go. Okay, and then if you want it a little higher, a little lower, you can adjust it at that point. And I may move mine up a little bit. So just kind of adjust it back and forth until you have it at the height you like. I'm just going to readjust mine slightly. And that's why you don't want to push this down right away. Okay, once you've set everything down, glued your letters down, you're going to grab your spider. You're going to put them on 2 dimensionals. You're going to grab this little end of twine that you had. And you're going to secure it down to the middle area. Make sure it's in the area that's going to be covered by your spider. Trim off the excess. And then place your spider down. Okay, your last steps are going to be to grab either a white gel, or I'm using a silver Sharpie, and just add a little highlighting to your spider. Okay, and then I'm just going to go and grab a little bit of my icicle stickles, and I'm going to add a little sparkle to my lettering. And there you go. So there you have it. It's a very fast and easy card which features this little punch spider, and it's not a really complicated thing to do. It's a very simple and easy and cute way to give someone a little Halloween wish.